What's up, BBN? Here for Bleav in Kentucky, and we got the UK running back, Chris Rodriguez, in here with us, man. C-Rod, appreciate you joining, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you for having me.
Man, look, we just talked about it when we were just recording. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Look, I do another podcast, and I got your dad on, who was a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
That was back before I knew I was supposed to be talking to Slacks to clear stuff, and I was about to get in trouble. But so I had to talk to her first. Had to talk to her first to make sure that I talk to you, man. So
Yeah, before I even do anything, I always talk to her too. Like if somebody like reaches out, like, "Hey, can you do this?" I'm like, "All right, well, you got to talk to Miss Slacks because she really runs it all for real." So
she ain't no joke. She's a great lady, and hey, you good with her, you got to make sure she good with it, and then it's good to go.
Yes, sir.
Oh. And look, man, I know you had a media session the other day. I know you're a humble guy, so I'm gonna ask a few questions about you, but then I'll move it on to some other stuff right quick. But
sir.
The top returning running back, according to PFF, the highest graded running back in the SEC, the top returning running back, most yards after contact, all those accolades, you've heard them all before. You so chill and go with the flow, but how does it feel to hear that kind of stuff, and as far as you're approaching this coming season when even more attention will be coming at you?
So I mean, when it comes, I just kind of just let it, like I hear it. Like if you know my dad, like he's all about it. So like my family, I just let them take it all in. They're really happy for me, happy for what I'm doing. Hold on. Happy for what I'm doing. So I kind of just, I just kind of leave it out there. Like I don't let it get to me because I'm just me. I just do what I got to do, So when people like, even when my teammates tell me like, yeah, you top 5, like that doesn't mean nothing. I'm still going to work, still going to be here with y'all every day. And I'm going to give them my all every day.
Yeah. Yes. You got that just grind and approach. Don't get your head get too big and all that. Mm-hmm. That's the way to do it, man.
And that's the way I was raised. Like, I just tell you, like, my uncle or whatever, he was like a 3-sport athlete in high school, and he never made it to college, but he was always like, yeah, don't ever get your head too big. Like, if you do, somebody gonna end up knocking you down to size. So, I always just kind of kept my head on straight and stay humble.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, of course, new OC coming in, Liam Cohen. And the plan, as you all know, as everybody in BBN knows, is for you to eat 25 touches a game. You're grinding through spring practice now, got fall camp coming up, but working towards that, when you had a potential to get 25 touches every Saturday, does that make your eyes light up to have to rock that many times?
So I would say, for the most part, I'm really just excited for the, before the game where they introduce the starters or whatever. That's the main part, because I've always wanted to hear that and hear my name being called, like in the starting lineup or whatever, hear the crowd cheer. So that's really the main thing that I'm happy for. But yeah, all the carries and stuff, like doing with that, just gotta let it come. It's gonna come when it comes. And if it's like I was telling them the other day, it's not just me. Like when I need a break and those other dudes behind me step up, don't be surprised when they keep them in for a little bit, because those dudes will work.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that room is deep, man. It really is.
It's deep. Everybody in there can produce, and I'm ready to see what they can do.
With you now being, kind of a veteran now, are you kind of trying to lead by example? Are you telling them different things? How do you lead as far as being the veteran in the room?
Yeah, so mostly me and Smoke been in the same time. So it's like Ton, Tisdale, Lavelle, all of them, I just help them get lined up or whatever. If they have like some alignment troubles that they're doing, I kind of get them lined up. Or if they need to know like what play, like what route we have on certain plays, I help them. But then again, like we did come in at the same time, like not really at the same time, but like this offense is coming to us all at the same time. Like even though they're freshmen, I feel like a freshman again because this is a whole new offense I have to learn. And I
Mhm.
mean, there's some similarities, but at the end of the day, it's like it's new. It's a new system. So I mean, me and Smoke, we help each other, and we really try to help the younger bucks for real. I mean, if they have anything, they can come to us about anything, even if it's just to talk. So
Mhm.
we try to help them as much as we can, but they getting the hang of it for real, just like us.
So that's kind of like the culture. I guess did you feel that way as a freshman coming in? With Benny and those guys, you kind of go to them, and now
Hmm.
you're in that position, and you got young guys coming to you. So it's the culture is just continuing to trickle on down year by year.
Yes, sir, it is.
Now you getting all these touches, and it's a new offense trying to be balanced as Liam Cohen brings in, a more balanced attack. You
Hmm.
excited about some perimeter runs, not just as much up the tackle, in between the tackles,
Hmm.
on the edge a little bit. You looking forward to that new wrinkle?
Yeah, so I was actually talking to Smoke about it the other day. Like that's more like what Smoke loves to do. That Smoke loves to get outside, get an open field. Me, I rather hit it in between the tackles, hit it up in there, and come out like a rocket. You feel me? I mean, that's just what I love to do. I love to go in there and see. I feel like you see everything when you're in there. When you get outside, you don't know who's coming from behind you. You don't know who's coming from the side. So, I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for all the new things, catching out of the backfield and all that. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. But I love the straight downhill.
Now, if everything goes according to plan too, with this balance, throwing the ball down the field, tight ends out the backfield, the
Hmm.
potential for you to hit it up in there with a less stacked box has got to be exciting. I mean, you got
I
to be.
love it. I love it.
You hit it up in
I'm
there,
ready for
see
it.
everything, but then there's no safeties and there's no corners coming down. There's no, I mean, that's
Hmm.
you gotta be loving that prospect.
Yep.
So
That. So about that, like, I'm really excited to see what these receivers, new quarterbacks, don't know who's gonna step up yet. I don't think we kind of filled that area yet, but I'm ready to see what they can do and see what they're gonna do. I'm like my whole life I've been running against like how many like 8, 9 in the box because I've always been like just the main dude on the team. So like in high school, we didn't really throw the ball that much. Middle school, we didn't really throw the ball that much. So it's like came to college, we didn't really throw that much.
yeah.
Not while I was playing at least. So I mean, I'm really happy to see like what this passing game opens up for us. We got a lot of dudes out there that can make plays and go get it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, the potential, man, like you said, for you to hit it up in there with a just a regular box, man. Ooh.
Might get dangerous for some people.
Yeah, for sure. Now about these young quarterbacks, I'm not trying to even ask, who you think's gonna start. If you have a preference,
Hmm.
Will ain't even here from Penn State yet, and
Yep.
and the new guys, Joey and Nick and Bo and everybody are still learning everything. But the new thing for them, which sounds crazy to somebody older like me, they're adjusting to taking snaps under center because there's
Hmm.
something they haven't done yet. So
Yeah.
for you checking it out, in your opinion, how are they just adjusting to that small detail of the game? Because I mean, nothing can start until they get that snap from under center.
That's true. So, I mean, it's new to, I think, most of the quarterbacks that we have. I know Joey, we talked about it. He said, I don't think he's ever used a cadence for real. He's used to just clapping.
Mm-hmm.
That was the new wave whenever we were in high school, just clapping and it's on like a silent count kind of. So, I think they're really getting the hang of it. We're doing a lot of different stuff, like even like in shotgun and all that stuff. So, like after practice, they'll stay after. Excuse me. They'll stay after and just get some extra snaps in just cause. But they're I say it's coming along pretty good for real, the under the center part. And I like the under center part kind of because I can see more kind of when the quarterback's up and I'm in the middle and I can see everything.
Just survey the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
Just look at everybody, see what everybody got going on.
Yeah. As far as that big blue wall, because you talked about the other day, if you were in position to buy them steak, you would, and when you are able to, you will.
Mm-hmm.
Bernard comes back, Fortner, some of these veteran guys we thought might have been moving on are back and just making that a deeper group. That's got to make you feel good. And how have you been kind of checking out some of the new things they've been having to learn since you're having to kind of run behind a new one?
So I would say I'm not really with them as much as I was the last few years because I'm trying to learn the new running plays and routes and all that. Like last year, I kind of knew it and I was over there like with them. We were walking through blitzes and all that stuff, like when we just weren't doing anything. So I haven't been really like hearing or seeing some of the new stuff that they're learning. But as far as those guys go, man, I'm so happy some of them, like most of them stay for real. Mm-hmm. You have that veteran line with really veteran. We really have a veteran offense, if you ask me. I mean, it's new, but we have a veteran offense. Everybody's played. Everybody has done at least some type of playing time. So, I mean, to see everybody just come together and, lock in or, what I mean. But those guys, man, I love those guys. Like we were just talking about those steaks. If I could get them steaks, I would. Building my house, I would. Those guys, they paved the way for me. All the credit that I get and the love that I get, I got to show them that same amount of love for real.
Yeah, and it seems like Coach Wolford is, he's coming in and they're adjusting to him well. He's adjusting to them well. Nobody's ever gonna forget Coach Schlarman. The fan base and the media know, but what a great guy he was. So how much more so you guys within the program? But Wolford seems to come in and teaching them some new things, and they're both kind of all getting adjusted to one another together. So it seems like it's going good.
Yeah.
You did say, the pass pro is the same. It's a new offense, but the pass pro is the same. Are you glad that that's like one less thing you got to try to learn?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's just different wording. So that's what we're just trying to get used to, is just like the different wording, and they have different, like a little bit of tweaks. It's not really too much, just like a little bit. So we're trying to, fix those little tweaks that we have, like in the running back room, as far as our eyes go and where we start our triangle is what we call it. But where we start that. And I mean, it's really kind of the same, but not really. But for the most part, it is.
Yeah. Wandale Robinson, of course, from Kentucky, transfers back from Nebraska. You've gotten to see him now a little bit since, spring practice has started. What are some of the areas of his game that are similar to Lynn Bowden, and what are some parts of his game that are different from what you've seen of him so far?
So I haven't seen Wandale play like in the game. I didn't really watch the Nebraska games too much, but I know he's going to be one of the problems on the team. They're going to have to try to watch, like the defense is going to have to try to keep their eyes out for him at all times, because that little dude fast and he's strong. He'll get open now.
Yeah.
And the thing I say about Lynn, like, he was just a playmaker. He just, whenever he wanted stuff to go, he did it. So I think Wandale had that same opportunity for real. So ready to see it, ready to get to work with him.
For sure.
On the field.
Now with Lynn, Stoops, the big dog, all those guys being from Youngstown in Ohio, you being from Georgia, when everybody just sitting around talking about who got the best high school football and it's back and forth, what case you making for Georgia? Because they caping hard for Ohio. I know you got to stand up for Georgia. Who's winning all the battles about who's got the best football?
So it's hard. That's the hard one. Like, it's most of the team is from Ohio.
Yeah.
When we have like our picture day, they're like, all right, well, everybody from Ohio come take a picture. More than half the team walks over. I'm like,
Yeah.
and Georgia comes, it's like a little, not too many, it's just a little bit. But when that argument comes up, I stay out of it. Where I was at is like, we weren't the best school. We were good, but we weren't, super good. Like the other, like 7A in Georgia, like Grayson and all those big schools in TIFF. So when that conversation comes up, I just leave it to the other dudes from Georgia that played at the big schools, went to the playoffs at least, because I can't just be like, yo, like I can't even make it to the playoffs.
Right.
You feel me? And then everybody's like, yeah, we won national championship in Ohio. And I'm like, well,
right.
What do I say? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You just lay low.
Just lay low. I mean, we both here, so it don't really matter.
Sure. Now, speaking of Georgia, man, now you look at everybody in the SEC East. Since Stoops and everybody's been here, they've beaten Missouri, they've beaten Vanderbilt, they've beaten Tennessee, got the win against Florida, had winning streaks against Missouri and South Carolina for a while. Georgia's the only team in the East that Kentucky hasn't beaten yet. They've made no secret that, we're shooting for Georgia. Georgia knows everybody's gunning for them. You guys are positioning yourselves to get better, to be ready for Georgia. How much more so does that mean a little extra something for you being from there? And these past couple of years, the games have been close. The 21-0 game wasn't even that lopsided as it looks. And then the 14-3 last year, and then that's your home state school. So I know it's got to mean even more when you go up against those dudes.
Yeah, so being from Georgia, that's always, Georgia was kind of one of the main schools I wanted to go to as like.
Yeah, you talking about Georgia being the school you wanted to go to.
Oh yeah, so Georgia was the school that I originally wanted to go to, whatever. And when I went on one of my visits, it wasn't an official visit. I just went on a regular visit. I was there with like a couple of the running backs, and I asked them, I was like, yo, like, what grade are you in? They was like, yeah, I'm a freshman. And I was like, yeah, they got, I'm trying to get an offer from them. Like, I really want to go here. It's close to home, my family and all that. And they were like, yeah, like we already got offered. They didn't offer you? I'm like, wait, you got the freshman here offered. And I'm from Georgia. And I was like, all right, it's cool. Like, I told my dad, we got in the car. I was like, I ain't gonna go there. It's whatever. They were coming to my school. They were talking to me, but they were like, they were just talking, like just to talk to me. And I feel like they weren't gonna really offer me. So, I was like, you know what, forget it. And then I came to Kentucky. So Georgia has always made me have this chip on my shoulder. Like whenever I played them, I was gonna prove them wrong about not offering me and all this. And I feel like everybody from my hometown watches that game. So
yeah, no doubt.
I'm gonna show out for sure.
Absolutely. So yeah, get to take another trip down to Athens this coming season. So yeah, no,
I'm gonna be ready for it too.
That's right. I know, basketball just ended. It was just the Final Four this past week. I saw you tweeting about, Gonzaga's big man, Timmy. You said nobody don't sleep on him. It didn't go their way Monday night, but what did you like about his game? Because you was giving him respect on Twitter,
man. That dude is a baller. So I didn't really watch a lot of college basketball, but when I did, it was them. I was Gonzaga playing somebody, I forget, but they won obviously. But that when I seen him, I'm like, he's really versatile. Like he can do it all. He shoot, he posts up. So I was like, dang, like this cat's really good. So me and my girl, we were watching the game. The one that went to overtime and that Suggs hit the game winner or whatever. we were watching it, and she was like, "The dude with the headband sucks," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "He sleeps." So and then because we had just turned the game on, she was like, "He sucks." I was like, "No, he does not." I was like, "All right, just wait."
She's starting
So,
an argument.
so and then he started going off, and I'm like, "Yeah, I told you." And then he hit when Suggs hit the buzzer beater. I'm like, "Come on now." I went crazy. I was in here going crazy. I was like in her face. I'm like, "Come on." I was like, "Come on." Yeah, but I was upset that they lost. I mean, I really wanted it for them. Even though I didn't watch the whole season, I really wanted it for them. You can ask anybody on the team. I was hitting a little Drew Timmy does a little thing where he does a little mustache thing. I was doing that practice all day.
That's his move, boy. That's his trademark. So what was your game like on the basketball court when you got out there? What was...
I was terrible.
Oh,
I'm not gonna.
okay.
Yeah, I was one of the big dudes like that was on the football team that was just gonna body you the whole time. I played my freshman and sophomore year. I actually played my freshman year, but I made the varsity team. But then they moved me down to JV. I guess I don't know why, but they did. So and then I played varsity my sophomore year, and we were terrible. Came out, lost like 1-something to 50.
Oh,
yeah. So and then I was just like, this isn't for me. Even though I fell in love with basketball, I just wasn't good. Like I didn't see me going anywhere for it. So like, nah, like it's not really worth quitting football for real. I mean, college is gonna pay or football is gonna pay for college. So
and speaking of that too, you're gonna be the first person in your family to finish college. You talked about that being one of the main reasons you came back to Kentucky. Who's the most proud of this accomplishment right now? You or the fam? That's
So I say my parents for real, they pushed me to get to where I'm at. Even not even just my family. I had coaches and all that. They pushed me to get where I am now because obviously like if I didn't go to college, like who knows where my little cousin would be. I have a younger cousin, the girl, she graduated high school. She's thinking about going to the Air Force. She doesn't really know yet, but who knows where she would be. Like she really looked up to me. We hung out, we talked a lot. And I'll talk to my older cousin, was her older brother. And we kind of kept each other's head on straight, like, yo, we got to do this. So we did that. And yeah, I would say mostly my family's mostly proud. I mean, my mom calls me every day, like, I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. And I'm like, Mom, I understand you called me 20 minutes ago and said the same thing. And she's like, I know, but I just had to let you know, like, I'm just so proud. I'm proud to call you my son and all this. So yeah, I would have to say my parents.
Yeah, that's understandable. But as happy as you are now, 10, 15, 20 years from now, it's gonna mean even more to you then than it does now. Like stuff your parents do for you as a little kid, are you happy and cool? And then as you get older, you realize, how much work they had to do and how much trouble they went through to get it. It means even more down the road. So that's probably gonna be the same thing when you finish college and look back on it. I mean, you're cool with it now, but it'll mean even more later. And then you'll see why they were so proud and why she was calling you every day. And
yeah, I will. And I'm really like, I hope I'd really make a big change in my family. If I do, that's gonna make me the most proud. Even if I was to win the Heisman, I would nothing could beat like making my family like get to the next level, making a difference in my family. So
family, nothing to top family, man. Possession that, nothing can jump that family for sure. Last thing, man, I know you said you're a country music fan, and I'm not a huge country music guy, but I grew up in a small town in Kentucky, and the country music is everywhere. Whether you like it or not, you can hear it. It's gonna be there. Who you listening to now, and who you listen to as a kid?
So I'll start from the beginning. So at the beginning, it was my uncle. So remember I told you my uncle was like a multi-sport athlete or whatever. So we went to a predominantly white school. So, and it was like kind of in the, I wouldn't say it's in the country, but like we had country people where we were at. So I guess one of his football friends was like, hey, listen to this. He came home and was like, Chris, you got to listen to this song. Like, just listen to it. He's not really singing country music. He's kind of rapping. And I was like, what? So, and then he put it on TV. We listened to it, and I was like, man, this sucks. About a couple days later, I was playing on my phone or my iPod, I think I had at the time. I was listening to Jason Aldean, Dirt Road.
Wow, okay.
Constantly on my phone. And whenever I go to parties, I'm like, hey, can y'all play this song, please? Like, I just wanted to listen to it, sing the whole song. So I did that. But now I don't really kind of listen to it as much as I used to. But I think if I were to listen to it today, I would probably still listen to Jason Aldean. Yeah, I think so. My girlfriend listens to it all the time, but she doesn't listen to it around me. I don't know why. But like I'll be out somewhere or whatever, come back and she's like blasting it on the TV. I'm like, what are you doing?
She trying to be low key with it. But
yeah, she's trying to be low key, like she don't got it in herself.
That's hilarious. She argued with you about Timmy, and then she sneaks and listens to Aldean behind your back. All right.
She listens to every country song. I don't know. She just don't do it around me. Whenever I get in the car, she plays. This is one of my favorite artists, Young Boy.
Okay.
So
she plays in front of you.
She'll probably play one of my playlists.
I got you. Man, good stuff, man. And look, I appreciate you taking the time to hop on, Bleav in Kentucky podcast. All the best this season. I know you're excited. Of course, the fans are excited. You go out and about in Lexington. Everybody can't wait for the season to start with what y'all are doing. Sir. So, man, you're a big part of it, and just humble and level-headed. You're approaching it the right way, man. So, looking forward to what y'all do this year.
Sir. Me too. Appreciate you.
Hey, thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
Let's see. Let me hop on this thing.